Hey guys, what's up? I am Dylan Gadino from Punchline Magazine.com. You are watching A Tight Five. Today, my guest is stand-up comedian Eugene Mirman. Eugene.
Hello.
Thanks so much for
Sure.
joining us here.
No problem.
You have added author to your
I have.
to your
Yes.
resume. I should show the book actually.
Sure.
This is out now. The Will to Whatevs: A Guide to Modern Life by Eugene Mirman.
I did an advice column on my website for years,
Right.
for the last like 8 years or so.
Okay.
It's all, half nonsense and half accurate,
Right.
as anything would be, as all wisdom is. Yeah.
You wrote this book, and I feel like you should be challenged,
Yeah,
taken to task, if you will.
absolutely. I agree.
So what type of advice would you give this average-looking, boring, unfunny person to kind of get in good with the ladies?
Just to be clear, the first is you spread a rumor that you're dangerous, so all of a
Right.
sudden maybe you're not boring, you'd been in prison.
Right.
And we're talking about a kid in, Newton, Mass. Like we're talking about a suburban kid, where, maybe he even has a mustache. Or maybe he has access to a mustache.
Right.
So he does that, he spreads that. Maybe that works, maybe it doesn't. He's doing all of it at once. You do all of it at once. So you're a murderer, you get some interests like chess, maybe lacrosse. And then the other thing I suggested just now that you liked, walk around with oil and no shirt and get beat up for looking like that.
Right.
So good. So yeah, three options.
The other thing I wanted to talk to you a little bit about is your role on Flight of the Conchords. Mm-hmm. How is your role? You play the landlord, named
Eugene.
Your character is kind of creepy. Are we going to see an evolution in Eugene, or is he?
I think he's going to basically be creepy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, depending on if it goes on for more seasons, but I don't know that, there isn't a lot of shots of me, you find out that I'm super into volleyball or anything like that. So you learn little things about me, and I think that there's a backstory to me that's, in my heart when I say the lines and in the minds of the Conchords, but no one will ever know those secrets. Oh yeah, this is another favorite. You probably can't see this, but this is a girl whispering about a time that she had doggy-style sex with Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, nice.
And it's really about not doing that.
There's a comedy festival here in New York City.
Yes.
Called the Eugene Mirman Comedy Festival.
I am totally aware of that happening. One day, Mike Birbiglia and I and Julie Smith, who books the show at Union Hall that I do, were joking around, and I forget why it was. I think I said, I'm going to do a comedy festival. And then I was like, of course I'm not going to do a comedy festival. That's ridiculous.
Right.
And then Mike was like, no, you have to do it. You have to. It's the most ridiculous thing if you throw your own comedy festival. And so then Julie and I started working on it and set up a few venues in Brooklyn, and it was fun, just flying friends out here to perform.
Sure.
And it was all in my neighborhood, and I made a little guide to restaurants I like. It was a very sort of homey, fun thing.
Right. Plenty of images.
For instance, this one is a Chinese blood box. That's something that you shouldn't call your restaurant.
One of the many interesting things about you, Eugene, is you play a lot of rock clubs.
Well, one, it's kind of how my career sort of went in a sort of very natural way, where the person who I got who as an agent who booked me and stuff was someone who booked mostly bands.
Okay.
But the truth is, it was sort of easier and better to do tours where you could play, a small rock club in a city, and you just do it for that one night. A lot of comedy clubs have a sort of a hokiness, to them, and a lot of rock clubs just don't have that. And also a lot of kids in general just are used to going to rock clubs, but they're just not as used to going to comedy clubs.
Yeah.
So it's more that I decided to go where my audience is, as opposed to try to get my audience to come in.
Eugene,
thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Sure.
You've been watching A Tight Five. I'm Dylan Gadino from Punchline Magazine.
It's a reference to stand-up comedy set.
Yeah, it certainly is. Go to EugeneMirman.com. Besides the book, you could pick up his 2 albums, En Garde Society, and the first one is the absurd
nightclub comedy of Eugene Mirman.
So buy that stuff and look out for his new album also on Sub Pop Records this year. See you guys.
Bye.